TX, of course. There we are. All right. Hey. Hey, thanks for dropping in. I'm still trying to get everything set up, getting this computer back to where it normally is. So hopefully I have some sound coming through. I'm showing I do have sound. My primary goal right now is to make sure that my CPU is not overheating, which was the primary cause of my delay in video. So I do apologize, guys, for this. Let's see here. Yeah, so come to find out, the heat pipe in the laptop popped, got a little hole right in the end of it, a little tiny little hole right in the end. So the processor would heat up, and of course, it would not transfer the heat. And it took me forever to figure out this problem. I was looking into memory. I was looking at all sorts of reasons why the fan would start ramping up and the processor would start heating up excessively. So come to find out it was just heat pipe. So I do plan on getting videos back out at a normal pace again. Hopefully, as long as all my equipment stays active and functional. Camera's working. Camera's working. So, yeah, hey Leo, hey, thanks for dropping in. This isn't just a unplanned live stream, so whoever joins in, I do appreciate anyone that joins in. To go over this, I'm just gonna kind of put the computer here to a test just to see how it holds up. If I get any delay in my video, but I do see the processor's like at 94%. So hopefully that's just something running in the background, since it's been a while since this thing has been up and running last. But I'm just going to cruise right along with this Cab 45. I'm not sure how my volume is coming through. Is the volume okay, or is there a lot of background noise, or should I turn it up any? Hey Jesse, hey, thanks for joining in. So again, if the audio is off, please let me know. I have adjusted the levels while I was attempting to figure out what was going on with this computer. So volume could be turned up quite a bit. Hey, thanks, Jesse. Let me just go ahead and get this cranked up. There we go. Is this sounding any better? I don't know what the level was before I started going through all my equipment. So boy, I got a lot more people than I thought I'd see here as just being a test live stream. So is that any better for sound? I don't know how far I can go here before you start catching all my background noise, but you could go more. Let's see here. I hear no noise. Also, my speakers are up quite a bit more than normal. Thanks, Jesse. Yeah, I'm going to try to get this volume back to where it normally is. I just needed some feedback and input. I didn't want to record a video and put a video out as a recording in case something was off. So having this direct feedback, it really does help me out tremendously. Hey, Cardi, hey, good to see you here. How's the amplifier repair business world going for you? And also the sub repair. I see you do repair on speakers. Good job. Not a lot of people that I know of do speaker repair, and I do get some phone calls coming in about that. So I do let them know about the people that I know that does that kind of repair. So yeah, this I was debating earlier really on how I was going to do this. I was waiting for that new heat pipe to show up and it showed up today, so I got this thing back together. And I see my video is still functional. Yeah, the colors may be off and everything too. I usually use, I don't even have it here, my I don't know where I usually use my cell phone for my videos. what is that, the Ultra, the A21 or whatever it is. Oh, you do too, Jesse? Oh yeah, wrapping coils. Oh yeah, me and arthritis and coils don't mix. So good to know, Jesse, that you do speakers also. That is a whole set of skills that I don't have time really to go over and learn recone stuff. So I'm just going to continue on with my normal routine of business here while this is running, just to see how the video and sound and all that turns out. And of course, and you will hear the heater kick on in the background, just to let you know. I don't know how much my microphone is canceling that out during the wintertime. I have many cab amplifiers, not many, not a lot, but I do have several cab amplifiers in that I got to get done. So I just need to kind of multitask a little bit today. This month's been kind of crazy. It's December right now for any future viewers of this, but my wife had to leave for the month of December for a little family, I don't know if I call it a family emergency, but she had to go take care of her dad. So it's been kind of a crazy December. So I do hope all you are well. I know it's been a while since I've released a video. Again, I do apologize for that. Me and equipment, I mean, I can repair amps all day long, but I tend to always have problems and issues with cameras, computers, just equipment like that, and me just don't get along very well. I don't know why. We just don't get along. I have a bunch of degrees in IT and stuff for Cisco, but I don't know. Just not my cup of tea when it comes to computers. All right, so we do have this obviously shorted to ground because the ground strap wire is, well, melted. Hey, Grizzlot, hey, Damon, hey, thanks for joining in. This really is just out of the blue live stream for today, just to review my laptop. I know a lot of people would probably say a laptop's not the best thing in the world to use to shoot video, but I have limited space here. My business equipment just takes up too much room. So I for right now, I'm using a laptop, of course, for videos. So let's see here. Where am I? I hope all's good with you, Damon, and I do hope you have a great Christmas this year. You sound better now, sir. Repair's taking all of my time now. Yep. I ordered the part. I might order a pack of I ordered the part. I ordered the part. I might order a pack of resistors. Leo. Oh, Leo. I think we have spoken in the past, haven't we? You have to refresh me. You guys would have to apologize. I do apologize. You guys have to bear with me. I speak with a lot of people in a day. My phones are non-stop every day. Even on Sundays, my phones will ring. So I do apologize if we have spoken in the past, but yet I don't know exactly what we have spoke about. So give me a little refresher on what you're working on there, and it'll come to mind. So these Cab 45 boards, they do slide out. I kind of despise the designs where you have to slide the boards out of the heatsink, because you have to take an end off to do so. But I find that the power terminal block end is the easiest end for me to take off, slide the board out. These cab boards. And just like that, as I say. And then I'll just take a screwdriver and pop all the transistors free from the heatsink. my microphone or my earbud line is in the way. So if you guys use screwdrivers or metal objects to free up your transistors from the heatsink, just as a note, I'd be real careful. Sometimes, depending on what you use, you could leave a little burr on the inside of the transistor, the mounting face, and sometimes that burr can get pointy enough to poke right through your insulator. So sorry, I'm not really looking at the comment screen while I'm doing this. So these boards use transistors that, I don't know, you just really can't find here in the States. I believe these transistors are punched solely for these kind of boards overseas. Let me see here. Looks like I'm falling behind. I've got more people than I thought I would expect to see in here. Let's see here. Too well, I'm just messy. Do you guys ever use Power Driver for taking amps apart? Yeah, I do. I do use powered tools. I used to use a power screwdriver for removal of screws from heat sinks and stuff, but I have found that I would much rather feel the resistance of the screw with my hands than using a powered tool, because if the screw has got any form or issue whatsoever, it may break on you, and then you will never really feel that with using a powered tool. But you can always use it, you can feel it using a screwdriver. So I kind of use screwdrivers just for that reason. It's always in your own stuff that never gets fixed. Yeah, ain't that the truth? I'm a medically retired electrician, and I don't even do my own electrical work in my own house. So yeah, I would rather not. I just, after doing it for 25 years, I would rather not turn a wire nut. So let's see here. Removal when tightening. Oh, when tightening? Power tools for tightening? Oh, never, not in a million years. Yeah, I only use power tools removal, not reinstall. Yeah. I'm going to get some sleep now, sir. Hey, yeah, you bet. Hey, I will catch you on your next video. I do like it when you get those videos out, and of course, I will always be there to thank you for putting those videos out. We'll see you on your next one for sure. I was mad about to say the mad scientist at work. Lucas Zimmerman. Hey, good to see you here. Stakes repair. Sup, gang? That's to crack the PCB. Yeah. Don't crack. I mean, it's repairable, but if you crack a PCB, it just adds more time. And then, of course, if you crack it, you end up eating the cost. So, but yeah. So, the Cab 45 uses. Hold on, guys. Keep my thoughts together here. Uses the FHA 28 and 50 in the output section, and in the power supply section, it uses the 150 NO6s. So if you guys were to jump on Mouser, DigiKey, Arrow, any of those guys, and if you try to search up FHA 28 and 50, you may have a hard time finding that. May or may not. I do carry the 28 and 50s just for the cab amplifiers. But what I don't have, and what I can't find here really in the States, is the FHA 150 NO6. So, the joys of working on these boards. I don't mind working on these boards really at all, but they can be kind of a bear if you can't find the parts. They really glued down this thermistor here. So usually these boards will slide right out once you get the transistors freed up. This one didn't want to. So I'm going to have to get a little bit. I got to get up underneath that. There it is. Whoa. Sorry about that camera there, guys. What? Oh, let's see. Here's any 2092s on the market yet? Any 2092s? Iris 2092. I'm not sure. I usually carry a pretty large supply of the 2092s. It's the 2957s right now that are hard, in my opinion, are in short supply. But the 2092s, I do believe, are available. I'm pretty sure they're available. I haven't had to order any for this year because I usually carry those drive ICs, buy them 100 at a time. So either it has been a very long day or I'm really overlooking stuff, guys. But this board is not sliding out. Seriously. What am I overlooking? Yeah, okay. It's one of those times right now where you would say, well, how about any screws that are screwing the board to the heatsink? I can tell you right now, this Cap 45 does not have that. So, no, Leo, don't, no, scratch that, guys. Don't buy your ICs off Amazon. I would highly recommend against doing that. Amazon, eBay, even 90% of your AliExpress sellers, I would be very careful buying any Class D drive IC in that form or fashion. Your chances of getting a counterfeit IC is highly probable. So, and you don't want that. So, not to discourage you from Amazon, I buy a lot of stuff from Amazon, so oh, that's why, because they glued the board to the heatsink. I would stick with, Arrow, DigiKey, Mouser, of course, Nuark, LCSC is another distributor that I have no problems with. There are some other places that I do go to that I deal directly with the individual at the business. So, this is going to be fun. So what happened on this board is they got that black glue. They got it up underneath the board and the heatsink because that's what they did. So I'm going to have to do my best to remove this without. Boy, they really did. Let's see here. Oh, let's see here. Just as they reply, distracted. Can't wait to hear about my M1U. Lucas Zimmerman. Oh, yeah. Yep, it's in line. That M1U is in line. So hopefully hopefully I can get to it before too long here. This month has been kind of a crazy month, so I am working really hard to keep up with business. So Lucas Zimmerman, I can't wait to buy M1U. Yeah, that's the problem. The parts are hard to find. A lot of searching just for one part. Yeah. I will spend I probably could, I don't even know how many hours a month I spend searching for parts. But that's one of the I don't know if I'd call it unique, but that's one of my own personal unique aspects of my business is I do a lot of restoration work for the old obsolete stuff, and finding parts for obsolete stuff is pretty difficult. So I spend a lot of time searching for those parts. How much of this glue they got up underneath this thing? It's just not very nice. Yeah, I could use hot air to loosen this. Or you just push hard. You'll have to give me just 2 seconds, guys, here. It's gonna go blank on the screen here just for a second. Ouch, 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 ouch. Ouch. Yeah, the QA/QC on these boards is something else. Ow. Let me get my headphones put back in so I can hear myself. All right. Yeah, these boards, wherever these boards are flow, wherever they do their, oh, look at all those transistor pieces. Nice. Wherever they do the assembly of these, they really leave a lot of sharp points on their amplifiers. I mean, just sharp, sharp, sharp. Oh, somebody has been around this board. The things that I don't like to see. Because then you got to ask yourself, well, why were they in there? What did they do? Hopefully they repaired it properly last time. All right, where was I? That's where I was at. But these are pretty straightforward. Well, the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to determine what I have to do for this board. Do I have to do the power supply? Do I have to do the output section? What do I got to do? So the output section on this uses 100K pull down resistor. So you should read 100K between gate and source. Excuse me, I almost had that backwards. Gate and source on your output transistors. 98K, 98K. Oh, boo. All right, so 77 ohms. So one of these is going to be shorted. 77 ohms. One of these is going to be real low. There it is. Gate source 0.4 ohms. So I'm going to bend that down out of the way. 77.4. And that one's gone. And 77. So what I did just now tells me that I have to replace the output transistors on one side. So you have two IRS-21844 drive ICs over here on this amplifier that drives each half this amp. So this basically is two amplifiers. You have two output inductors. So we have two shorted, one high, one low transistor here, which goes back to this IRS-21844 IC here. So I'm going to pull this, when I pull this card out, I'm going to replace both these 21844s. Why is that? Because I use an IC. I know it probably, once I say this, these are going to disappear off the market, but hold on, let me go grab them real quick. For all you lucky people that are viewing today, that do amplifier repair, looking for an IRS-21844 IC. For all you that know, the 21844s were I don't even know if they still are, a complete nightmare to get a hold of. The 21844s couldn't find anywhere, but there is a replacement IC for those that you can find on LCSC right now for dirt cheap. So this is the TF21844M. The TF21844M. This is a direct replacement IC for the 21844, the IRS-21844. So now, why am I changing both? It's because even though the manufacturer states that this is identical specifications to the IRS-21844, I want to make sure I have matching ICs in this amplifier. That's the only reason. They're cheap enough for me to be able to warrant just replacing both drives. So how cheap are they? Well, at the time I got these, you can get them for under $2 each. So there's your hint tip for the day there, guys. DigiKey. Yeah, I like DigiKey. The only one thing I don't like about them is the tariffs that you have to pay. So I'm not a DigiKey I will use them, but they are one of my last of the go-to places. I don't like to pay import duties or tariffs if I don't have to. Hey Mark, hey, good to see you. Thanks for joining in today. Yeah, Jesse, yeah. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but there are direct replacements for the IRS-21844s. And as a matter of fact, give me another 2 seconds here, guys. This is a sheet from the manufacturer. Sorry about the picture. I'm not a technical person when it comes to equipment. I know, right? I can tell you all about amplifiers, but I can't tell you about cameras. I have no idea about cameras. The white balance, I think I need to set that on not auto. I'm not sure. But this manufacturer here has a whole list of ICs that they make that are compatible with international rectifier ICs. So, and of course the 21844 is on the list here. The only IC I have not found a replacement for yet is the SI8244 IC. That is on, of course, my to-do list, but as of right now, I am not aware of any manufacturer that is reproducing a copy of the SI8244 for the Brazilian boards. All right, these two transistors are, of course, shorted, so just gonna cut them right on out of here, throw them in the garbage can. it's easier for me to work with individual legs than I am with the full-size transistor speed-wise. So we know we got to do the power supply. The drivers on the power supply have also got to go. 9 times out of 10, it takes the drivers with them. And we are going to replace one bank of output transistors, and we're going to replace both output drive ICs on this particular board. I don't see any other areas of damage. And we're going to replace the ground strap since it's melted. This is for a, I think this is the, I'm going to say the owner? I'm not sure. Is it the, I think these belong to the owner or the main distributor of the Apex Audio boards. So, is that a DD board? No, this is Audio Apex. This is a Cab 45. Let's see here. Leo's, oh, so what's the other website called again where you can? Other website. Hey, Leo, I'm not sure which one you're talking about there. If anything, if any of you guys question at all about places that I go to, distributors I use, just send me an email and I'd be more than happy to get back with you on suppliers and distributors. Just be prepared to spend the hefty bill on some parts, because even though it's what we're going to be in 2023, prices have come down a little bit on these parts, but they're still price gouging them pretty bad. So comparatively speaking, from back in like 2019, 2020 prices, which probably we will never ever see again. So unfortunately. All right. But I'm going to safely assume that my little fix on my computer here has resolved my video issues. So I do believe I'm going to be able to continue to punch forward on getting videos put out. Tanky? This, Mark? This board here? No, no, this... no. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased because I repair a lot of different kinds of amplifiers, so I'm not sure I would call this one tanky, but it probably, I don't even know if it would even give you the full 45. It might give you 4,500. I'm not sure. That's one thing I don't do here. I don't dyno. I don't pull for, to see what maximum power an amplifier will do. I just use my normal standards. My normal standards for amplifier repair. I have been working on compiling data for the random failures that you probably hear a lot of. When they say I just turned it on and it popped. Well, been working on some information that'll help shed some light on that. So once I'm done with all that, I will get it released. I don't like to release information until I know it's, verified and proven, I guess I should say. But still seeing a lot of failures. A yeah, a lot of failures that are going to be voltage related. So it's going to be key for a lot of people out there. Mark Roberts, oh, JP33. Were we talking online or through email about that by chance, or was I working with someone else on a JP amplifier? I can't remember. Again, it just goes back to I work with so many people in a day that I'm surprised I even know what my own name is. The word on the, I don't know what you call it, word on the street is repair techs have gotten so busy that is the reason why my phones, I got more than one line. My phones have been so busy. I'm still about 4 to about 4 to 6 weeks on my turnaround times. So I'm trying to keep up with the demand, I should say. So hopefully what I'm doing here is helping somebody learn amplifier repair, and especially in a way that you don't have to guess what the problem is. That's I think that's key for me when it comes to, you know, looking at who I'm gonna hire as somebody that just doesn't replace parts until they find the problem. Hopefully, you know, what I show here on video will help people learn to troubleshoot and find the actual issue at hand instead of replacing all the parts and doing what I call repairing it to death. So, ooh, these power supply transistors really took a hit, but that's normal for these. Got my first Xenon amplifier by accident in. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the Xenon amplifiers, but it's an amplifier that I do not service, at least the output section. If someone contacts me with a amplifier repair that's got a shorted output section and it's Xenon, I will pass that on to another tech. So, but I got my first Xenon board in. I don't know how I missed it, but luckily it doesn't show any output shorts. So I went ahead and sent the quote for the guy. So I'm going to cross my fingers and hope and pray that the output section is okay on that board, because I don't know the Xenon design, and I really don't have the time to reverse engineer another design. Topology. I haven't even called it design, I'd call it just a topology. But yeah. Let me see here. Let me catch up. The piece that looks thin for a big amp. Yeah. Yeah, this thing here is nothing against. I'll repair anything, but I will always let you know too of my opinions on an amplifier. That's for sure. I used to say that I'm not very opinionated, but when it comes to amplifiers, I can be opinionated. And while I'm here, I'm going to take out the other output transistors. Because on these amplifiers here, if you want to save yourself a lot of headache with the IRS, or the, I'm just going to call it the 21844 because I don't use the IRS ICs, but the 21844 drives, it's so much easier. Just take the 5 minutes, pull the output transistors, and if you have the equipment, to do that, then pull the output transistors. Because when you go to check your 21844 ICs, it's easiest to look for the low side drive. So there. So that's all the power supply plus. Sorry about that, guys. I bet that was loud in everyone's ear. Sorry. Dropping an amp on live stream, that's not nice. Let's see here. Hold on. Is the board, let's see here. Is this board type in Perry's repair guide? The output drive card is. This particular board is, I don't believe, is in his guide, but the output drive is in his guide. Let's see here. I've had a PRV6K with everything okay except one of the 2 parallel diodes on output filtering. 2 parallel diodes? Jesse, there on output filtering? The people that are hard on stock electrical, that's what I'm guessing. Yes, there you go, Leo. You got it right there. Although I'm not going to divulge any information. I don't like to put out any false information. But you are on the right track. When people play them hard on stock electrical, yes. Oh my God, I've been working hours over several days on a Pac-Man board. Oh, really? Why, it's recent. I'm just noticed I forgot to put a chip back in one of the sockets. Yeah, a lot of guys spent 6 hours chasing a bad CMOS battery in a yeah, if you keep dropping stuff. I know, right? Oh my gosh. Let's see, how many amps have I done today? This will be amp number 4 today. So I am on a roll. Some amps, if you have an amplifier that has an issue that is not, I don't know what you call it, readily obvious, you could end up spending several hours on a single amplifier. It's happened to me a few times where I'll have like a tar amp with a really odd issue that I will end up spending a significant amount of time on trying to figure out what the problem is. Usually preamp related. Feedback and preamps are the 2 main areas where you can get a pretty good headache. And then of course, while I'm here, I'm going to take out the output card. Yeah, I don't even know what time it is. What time is it? 3:30? 3:30 here in the Pacific Northwest. All of my phone lines and equipment gets turned off at 5 o'clock, so I think I've done fairly well with time. As they say, you know, $400 a day keeps the bill man away, so at least that's my saying. I don't know if I, you know, if you can average $400 a day in repairs, you're doing pretty decent. So oh, output card. Yeah, getting tired. Getting tired. I can already tell. Oh, let's see here. What do we got going on? If I'm not mistaken, you don't want to slap all the parts right back in the power. Let's see here. Oh, hold on. Sorry, guys. Sometimes hard for me to multitask looking at chat and work at the same time here. It's not missing. You don't want to slap. You don't want to slap all the parts right back in for the power supply. You want the IC switching, yes. Then the pre-drive circuit, then the power transistors, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so the first thing I do is I get the power supply up and running. I very rarely take rectifiers out. There's usually when I see someone has taken the rectifiers out, that means it's telling me that they were across an issue that they had no idea where it was coming from. I used to, back when I started doing amplifier repair, I used to take the rectifiers out first thing and split the amp in 2 halves. But that was with the Class AB amplifiers. And when I started moving really more into the Class D, because that's what, you know, 90% anyone uses anymore, I've noticed that 90% of the time you already have to do output work. So it's just easier across the board to pull your output transistors, and then you can get your power supply up and running. But yeah, you're correct. You want your power supply up and running first. So in this particular instance on this board, since I have burn up drivers, I will repair the drivers first. And break the seal on that glue. Check for gate drive on your power supply transistors. And then if you do have gate drive, from there, verify that your level is the same on all your gate pads. Well, everything in parallel, I should say. Make sure those are the same level. You'll find that that is a much bigger concern on the big Korean boards. On these smaller boards here, you don't really have a lot of, you don't have Zehners in the way. You just don't have as much for the power supplies on these. So you can kind of get away with just checking in a few spots on your gate drive. And if you've ever wondered, you know, or found that you are notorious for pulling vias, turn the heat down. I find quite a bit that people will use too much heat when desoldering stuff, and you'll pull the top of these vias right off. You'll delaminate it right from the board. And then before you pull boards out that have headers, what I do is I just wiggle it a little bit, and I just make sure that I see all the pins rocking back and forth. Because if you have a pin that's not rocking back and forth, it will pull that via out with it. And there's nothing like old vias. So when you pull a card out, you'll know if you have a pulled via. It's because you're going to see a little bit of copper left on the pin. So when you pull these cards out, sorry, I don't have my Samsung camera running right now, so my up close shots are kind of garbage. But you'll see little circular pieces of copper tube kind of soldered to the end of your pins if you pulled vias. So when you pull a card, you want to check your pins and make sure you see absolutely zero copper on the pin itself, which this tells me that all the vias are intact. So on the Hakko, on my FR301 here, I have it set to a 2.5. 2.5? No, I don't. I have it set to 2 exactly. 2 is what, 400 degrees Celsius. So I find that 2-ish setting works perfect, even on this garbage lead-free solder, to desolder stuff. And these little pads here that I use keep the board from flexing as I'm working on it, because I left this, can't see it, but I left this end plate on right here, and so this end plate raises it up off my table just a little bit. So I put little spacers underneath the board to keep the board from flexing. Let's see here. Let's see here. Laptop to play. New laptops have no DVD drives. MO tool. Hey, you're gonna have to get yourself an external drive. Let's see here. Whoa, poop. That didn't fix it. Still chasing the problem. What are you working on, Damon? Are you working on a power supply? Is that what you're doing? That's up here. You gotta I am laid off for the winter. Oh. Laid off for the winter. Oh, that's unfortunate. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully, Mark, if you have any questions whatsoever, always feel free to reach out to me, text me directly. I'm open for everyone, 8 to 5, 6 days a week, except on Saturdays. I think I have changed my hours to 10 to 5 on Saturdays. But otherwise, I am more than happy to spend any amount of time on the phone with you guys. If you have any questions or need a help or hand or anything of the sort, that's just my nature. So here, let's see here, you got a ton of work. Yeah, I've got a ton of work. Yeah, if it wasn't such a hassle to hire employees, thanks federal government, then I would, I'd have employees to help me out. But I've probably got, I'm probably close to about 40 amps in queue right now. So that's why I have to stay on top. I have to get at least 2 done a day to stay within my 4 to 6 weeks. Let's see here. Good day, all. Mike Honda. Hey, good to see you here. Happy holidays, you electrical circuit heads. Good day, Todd. Yeah, thanks, Mike, for dropping in. Terms are just bit. Tar amps built poorly. Well, built poorly. Some of their lines of amplifiers could use a little bit more attention to detail. That's what I can say about that. I repair tar amps almost every day of the week. So I know their boards inside and out, upside down, all around it with my eyes closed, and probably even in my sleep. Tar amps, I know them very, very well. But once you understand the concept of Class D circuitry, you got every amp figured out. So I'm just going to take my isopropyl alcohol, not the good stuff, the 70% isopropyl alcohol, the Dandy toothbrush, and we're just going to clean the board up. So, you know, you can always safely assume too that every gate resistor is going to have to be replaced, most likely. Usually when these 150s fail, it just wreaks havoc on the whole thing. So what I do is I use my toothbrush, use the weaker, I don't know if you call it weaker, isopropyl alcohol. It's got a little bit more water content in it than it does alcohol content, which I like because it really does kind of help clean things up because it doesn't evaporate as quick. So for every board, I just like to assess, of course, what I have to do to repair the thing. Time is it? 3:40. Sorry, my arm reaching across the way here. But otherwise, this is just another same old typical, what do I call it? Business. Business. I am a stickler for attention to detail, as anyone that's worked with me or has had stuff repaired by me. Detail is very, very crucial, in my opinion. Attention to detail. Just like that. Pac-Man arcade board. Old stuff there. Old stuff. Pac-Man arcade board. Oh, I'm visualizing those older arcade ones that you sit at. And you look at the screen through the top from ages and eons ago. Let's see here. Mark Roberts, love Korean boards. Just fixed the GPU at the time level 3K, but damn, she's strong. Yeah, JP33s, I hear nothing but good things about the JP amplifiers. So, done with the 301. I do believe I'm done with the 301. So yeah, okay. I collect well laid off. Pac-Man are good. Yeah, I remember my days of construction where I was laid off a couple times in my years of electrical, and I remember the good old days. What about Audio Legion? I have worked on an Audio Legion amp. They remind me of what? I can't really remember off the top of my head, but they do remind me of another board. Of course, you know, a lot of boards are all the same, so thanks guys, I love Todd's videos and advice. Hey, thanks Mark. Nice cleaning trick with the brush and paper towel. Oh yeah, when you, and that's the thing is, I like to find things that just makes the process quicker, easier. There's nothing like having a process that is daunting. It's a task. Make it easy. The only thing about using the what is that, 70% isopropyl alcohol, you got to remember too, though, is a lot of water in it. So you're going to have a lot of water left over on the board. So before you go and power things up, make sure that, keep in mind that you did use the 70% isopropyl alcohol, and that water could be an issue. How do you go about coating repairs if you have any input? Yep, me do that. Seems long ago. Yeah. Quoting repairs? All right. Well, that's getting down to the nitty gritty of business. I guess you first have to know I don't charge by the hour. I charge by the job. So that's where, if an amp takes me 10 hours to do versus an hour to do, that's where you could end up losing your shorts off, when it comes to income. But I charge by the job. I do enough of these amplifiers to know what it takes to repair it. I work 7 days a week in curing my parts, working with distributors, working with manufacturers. I work with everyone that you can think of for the best price of parts. So price of parts, and just knowing what needs to be done to an amplifier sets my price. So that's how I go about quoting. The average, this is December of 2021 now, so this is, or 2022, sorry. This is being recorded, so if I say any prices, of course, it's going to be different in the future when this is watched in the future. But as of right now, the average repair bill up to 5K for a power supply section is about 125 to 145. The output section is about the same, 5K, about 125 to 145, up to 5K. So 5K to 10K, you're about 225 per section for the power supply, and about 265 to 295 for the output section. And you get up above 10K, and your average repair price is about $450 to $500. That's going to be the January 1st, 2023 roundabout prices. Prices are going to be going up just a little bit the first of the year due to the rising costs of energy. I keep track of my utilities very, very closely, and the energy cost has gone out the roof. And the way I test amplifiers is probably not like a lot of other people. I use a lot of energy when it comes to testing amps. Oh yeah, yeah, I do. It can actually be a downfall. I'm borderline. Um, what do you call that? Uh, yeah. What is that? OCD. I'm really, yeah. I'll let you know if I don't like something that like, if something turned out on like a mix that I've done on a fiberglass mix, I'll let you know if it didn't turn out right. I'll just be honest. Like, I'll just say I don't like it. but yeah, I I am very thorough when it comes to amplifier repair. At least I try to be, very thorough. I'm gonna start talking about pigment. I'm not sure the last time I spoke with you, Mike, but I started using UV resin. So UV resin, there it is, guys. UV resin, ground fiberglass. Then I have mold trays. Then I have mold trays that I use here that I make. It's about an eighth of an inch thick flat mold for PCB locations that burn holes through the board. So, and then of course I dye it with to match the color of the board. The only thing about using UV curing stuff is if you do anything with black, oh my gosh, like this board, black's a real bummer to get that UV light to penetrate. So you got to do it in really thin layers. OCD, yeah, OCD for sure. Let's see here. I got to pull. Now these drivers, sometimes they'll come off, sometimes they won't come off. Sometimes they weld themselves right to the tabs. Oh yeah, yeah. Uh, Usually too, as I say, usually you can find your fault just by reading the resistance value of the item itself. But I just I just finished one of these Cab 45s before I fixed my computer, and believe it or not, the uh, the output card had a shorted uh, 2x transistor that I could not, it did not show up as a low resistance value on the meter. So it just, I'm assuming it just has a bad junction. Sometimes when you go to read a transistor, it'll read fine until you try to put a load across it. And that last 45 I did was an amp that, oh my gosh, it took me forever to find the problem. So I do this and I don't want to melt the wire. So there's that OCD thing again. The thing about, doing good work is, the owner of the business will probably keep sending you repairs. So, I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to do this. And keep that wire out of the way. There we go. Of course, two of the drivers, two of the drivers come right off. There we go. What are these, NPNs? Oh yeah, that one's welded right to the trace. Okay. So, just to let you know that usually the drivers that fail in these, I think they're the NPNs, are connected to ground. And they burn this trace up every time. This board isn't bad. I have seen a lot worse failures for the Cab 45. Yes, and that's the thing too. Attention to detail. Sorry, as my heat gun ramps back down. There we go. Yeah, in my opinion, the attention to detail is the difference between an amplifier lasting 5 minutes versus an amplifier lasting 5 years. There's some amplifiers that I get in that have been repaired previously or just got repaired, and then they tell me, well, it just blew up again, and come to find out that they had, a half volt difference on their gates on the power supply because they didn't change a Zener diode, or they had a resistor out of value. So attention to detail really is key on these amplifiers. They have to run in harmony, otherwise they will burn up. Oh, yeah, I think so. I think this is the same resin that's used in 3D printers. I think when I was doing some research on this, and the reason why I went with UV resin is the what do they call that? The shore strength, is that what it's called? Shore strength. The hardness is the hardness of UV resin is 10 times. Not even gonna say that. It's drastically harder than two-part resin. So, um, yeah, the UV curing stuff is just phenomenal, and you don't have to worry about setup time. It's just, I love working with it. Temperature, temperature is better done than bad. Yeah, than bad. It's better done than bad. Yeah. Would water heater elements act like a load for the Class D testing around a load? Oh, hey Jesse, that's a great question when it comes to load banks. Oh my gosh, where to start with a load bank? Okay, so will elements, will resistive elements work? Yes, kind of. There, that's the answer to that there, uh, Jesse. They kind of. The thing with resistive elements is the resistance will drift based on temperature. And that's the problem I had when I was building my open air Canthal load bank. Just get just get yourself some Canthal wire, twist up your own resistors, and then test it based on your known voltage and current will give you your wattage. So um, you can use them, but it will drift on you. um, and all in all, in reality, what ended up with my load bank is I have my load resistors submerged in um, what is that called? Mineral oil. God, couldn't think of that. Mineral oil. So I'm using the mineral oil to act as the heat sink to pull the heat away from the Canthal to stabilize the resistance. Electric harmony. Yes, they have to run in harmony, that's for sure. I thought about making a car radiator liquid cooling system for it. Keep it cool. Yeah, yeah, you can do that too. You can use any form of cooling. As a matter of fact, I was looking into using a external radiator to pull the heat out of my mineral oil. But yeah, you use enough mineral oil and you can run quite a while on a pretty heavy load. So, um, yeah, so but that's what I did. I'm losing track what I'm doing. I just pulled the drivers. Oh, what's next? What's next, guys? Oh, the grinder. The grinder. Now, for all the people that are just starting out in amplifier repair, I'm just going to give you my 2 cents of my pet peeve of the day here. If you are doing amplifier repair and you have a burnt component and you see your PCB burnt, you have to get rid of the burnt PCB. There's just no other way to say it. You guys have to drill out the burnt PCB if you don't want it to come back. But I have 2 amps right in the back behind me that are here from previous repairs that are back, not my repairs, but they did not remove any of the burnt carbonized PCB from the drivers of the power supply. I don't know, guys. Maybe people don't know that fiberglass will become conductive. I don't know. But just remove your burnt PCB. But it's really a simple process. I just use my little grinder tool, get right down in there, and over time you'll start to learn by feel where you have good board, bad board, what carbonized board actually feels like underneath the grinder. It does have a feel to it. Burnt PCB is kind of mushy underneath the grinder. So it's that kind of thing that you're feeling for. And of course, the color of the board. The layers of a PCB are very rarely ever black. Very rarely. Well, I'm talking about the layers, not the surface, but the layers itself. The PCBs are usually not black. So if you have black PCB, you probably have carbonized PCB. And when you try to pass a signal through carbonized PCB, you'll see it on the scope, but it's conductive enough where you'll pick that signal up and you'll spread it wherever that carbonized PC board is, whether it be a drain source, on a power transistor, or collector emitter on a BJT. I mean, if that signal finds its way to the base or the gate, it'll cause issues. So you got to get rid of your carbonized PCB. I don't know how many times I've said this over the past, but man, yeah, I see it all the time. Boards will come in and it has work done to it, and they never took out the burnt carbonized board. And then you wonder why it's burnt up again. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that's a cool little Dremel. Yeah, so my cool little Dremel tool here. I did put this out on a video. The NF-V2. I do think, usually I'll mention channels, I do think Northridge Fix. Alex seems to be a great guy at Northridge Fix there. I do buy a lot of my odds and ends from through him. I like to support other repair techs as much as possible if they offer items for sale that I can use. But yeah, that little grinder, it's perfect. Gets right down in there. And of course, I do also have my normal Dremel floating around, which I have wore out. But you can see the difference between getting a actual Dremel in there versus my little grinder pen. So yeah, finding that little grinder pen just is the best thing ever. So yeah, where are we at here? So I'm at an hour and 20 minutes. What time is it? 4:02. I'm gonna be jumping off here before too long. Let's see here. I can't seem to find. Let's see here. I can't seem to find wind turbine brake resistors. What material? Oh yeah, the wind turbine brake resistors. What material? So I wish I kept a link forever through AliExpress. is the only place I was able to find them. But they're quartz tubes about 14 inches long. They're quartz tubes, and inside the quartz tube has wrapped Kanthal wire. Probably probably not a 12 gauge, probably a 14 gauge Kanthal wire, good for up to 2,000 watts. And I have 12 of them. So, but that's what I used. It's Kanthal wire, but they're hard to find though. But if you were to get the I would look up brake resistor, and you'll find brake resistors like 2-ohm brake resistors. You might even be able to find 1-ohm brake resistors. But if you do two 2-ohm brake resistors in parallel, that's even better, because then you're 1-ohm load, but then you have however many watts you've chosen to parallel up. But that though, you can't really oil cool or liquid cool. I guess you could, but it would be trial and error. So let's see here. That's the problem with the PCB, gets burnt. Yeah, burnt bird becomes conductive with some board designs. If it feels like you're crunching on a Dorito, it's bad. Exactly, and that crunch feel is, you can even feel it in your fingers on the Dremel. Let's see here. Oh, mains has burnt layers. It's deep. Mains has burnt layers. Don't let it be a class AB. It's just turned 7 p.m. for me. That doesn't look like my 100 by 2 US amps. Really? 100 by 2 US amps? US amp? Treadle. US amp 100 by 2. I looked at large brake resistors, air cooling. Yeah, that's probably the hardest thing I had to do as an aspect of my business. When several years ago, when I was approached and asked what was my largest load that I had at that time, I only had a 2,000 watt load. So I had to upscale, order of magnitude. I had to upscale to a point where I could handle 30,000 watts minimum. And that was the absolute hardest task about starting my business, was building that darn load bank. Oh, I have so much time into building a load bank that can handle 30,000 watts. It's pretty insane. Phone calls. That's the first phone call I've had in an hour and a half. Nice. Let's see here. Let's see here. I have 4 1,000 watt 4-ohm brake resistors. Yeah, exactly. All built together between large heat sinks. Yep, there it is. Yeah. Oh yeah, VFD drives would have great resistors. The hardest problem I had was building a load bank in a way that I can configure it to go 8421. 8421 half. Being able to connect up those different loads. So on top of the, oh my gosh, I will call them back. On top of the a load, I have terminals sticking out that I can attach my leads to, that lets me set my resistance. But yeah, I am probably gonna have to run, guys. That probably is telling me that my other phone is probably, I don't even know where my other phone is. Losing stuff. But yeah, I I am going to probably pick this up as a video, as a recorded video with this amplifier, to get my other cameras set up to get down in here, and so I can show everyone how I do my resin work down here at the drivers. I don't have the camera set up to get my close-up shots for you guys for this, and I really would like to save that for a video on how I get in there, mix up the color, get it laid in there, shoot the light on it, and lay out the trace. So I'm going to leave that for a video. Let me just catch any last questions here real quick. I was speaking in reference to signal noise from a conductive board when I said don't let it be a class AB. Oh, signal noise from a conductive board. Yeah, exactly, right? Oh, that's the thing with class AB, you know. If you get any form of noise on the, even on a preamp, or even on their pre-drivers, you're gonna get it. It will amplify that like crazy. Let's see here. I gotta go, but yeah, thanks Leo for dropping in. Thanks for a great video and info. Any day, I'm always around, always happy to help. By phone, by email, any form. I'm always here for you guys. But again, I am going to go ahead and cut the stream. I'm going to record this as a video with the other camera to show you guys how I get this done. So and thank you guys for watching. ElmsburgAmplifier.com, or you can contact me directly. My phone numbers, emails, all on my website. And I do have a frequently asked questions page. You want to read through that if you have any particular questions about my business. And then also ElmsburgAmplifier.com. Request a quote at the top, request service if you're interested in contacting me for any board repair of the sort. There's the form to fill out. And of course, I'll get right back as soon as I can. So, yeah, thanks, Damon. Have a great Christmas. And I thank all you guys for watching. Have a great Christmas. If I don't see you guys by the end of the year, have a great end of the year and a safe new year. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.